All right, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue year 3 with our San Jose Sharks. We just got the offseason done in the last video. We've already edited our lines. We've taken care of everything here in preseason, so I hope to get a lot of simulating done in this video. But before we get started, let me just remember to turn off the injuries and the goalie rotations. It's still where it was from last year's playoffs, so there's all the stats again. Injuries off, and auto goalie rotations back on. So, we're going to use our new San Jose Sharks this year, no longer with Patrick Marleau, no longer with Big Joe Thornton, all right, and Dan Boyle, all right, so we have a completely new roster. The way that we have the lines, I'm going to leave for right now. If we start to lose some games, I can move some things around, but there you go, there's the new look San Jose Sharks. I've had some good and some bad feedback from you guys. We'll get into that during the simulation. Hang on a second. All right, so there's our team. And yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Is there anything else I'm forgetting? No, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead here. We'll do 1 month at a time, track our team, see how good they're doing, and if I have to do some line changes, we'll pull some off. But I want to talk about some of the changes that we made in the offseason, or lack thereof, because I was reading your comments, and the Jonathan Toews seemed to pop up a lot. Jonathan Toews, he was like 94 overall, 95 overall, signed with the Calgary Flames. There you go. Oh, you know what? Hang on, let me stop the simulation. I forgot. One comment was saying, show us Jonathan Toews' contract, like how much he actually signed for. He was asking for like 12 in offseason, so you wouldn't have been able to sign him for 12. You would have had to have offered him a little bit more, right? So, yeah, there you go. So Calgary got him for 12.5 for how many years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 years. That's actually pretty good for 3 years. And he fits in Calgary because I don't think the Calgary Flames have much cap to deal with. Yeah, they still have $3 million. So it fits in there. But for a team like the San Jose Sharks, boys, I mean, we don't have that much salary cap to deal with. Hang on, let me just get the simulation started. We don't have that much salary cap to deal with. And also, we got Logan up front. And how much is Logan making? Like $6 million as our first-line center? He could still get better. He could turn into a 90 overall. And if we wanted to go after and get Jonathan Toews, I mean, 95 overall first-line center playmaker, no doubt that's an outstanding player, right? But I'm not looking to trade him away. I'm not looking to trade away half my team just to sign him. This was a reload year. This is not a rebuild. If we were doing rebuild, trade away Joe Pavelski, trade away Brett Burns, and then sign Jonathan Toews to like a 1-year deal. That way, next year you could re-sign him to... Because whenever you sign a guy in free agency, he always asks for a lot more. But if you get to re-sign him in your re-sign stage, it's a lot less. So that's what I would want to do. But to sign Jonathan Toews to a 1-year deal, that would be probably like the max, like 14.6 something, right? So I'd have to give up like Pavelski, Brett Burns, probably one of my defenders like Vlasic or maybe Niemi, just to sign Jonathan Toews. That just doesn't make sense to me, all right? He's a great player, no doubt, but I ain't giving $14 million for one player. That's just not going to happen on our team. I want to play Logan as our first-line center. He's our... Oh, you know what? Shit, I forgot to do that as well. We got to make our captains. He's our new captain. So, yeah, it just wasn't in the cards to pick up Jonathan Toews this year. Trust me, I saw it too. I was thinking about it, but no, it's just not going to work. Where do I got to go for this? Jersey numbers. All right, so set captains. Dwight King's the captain? Yeah, right. Logan, where are you? Oh, he's already been taken. Hang on. Logan is the captain. The alternate, not Brett Burns. It can be Pavelski. He's been there for a while. And also, I'm going to name Shattenkirk the second alternate. All right, because he's like the defensive captain, and Logan is the forward captain. Pavelski's kind of like the veteran player. Brett Burns got traded here from Minnesota. Pavelski's been here for a while. All right, so there you go. So now that we've gotten that all taken care of, hopefully we can... I don't even know what the record is. Are we doing pretty good? 4-2-2. Yeah, it's still very early. Can't really tell. We'll go 1 month at a time here. We'll just see how our team's doing after the first month. And then we'll see if we can make some changes. Other things that I saw in the comments regarding the offseason. Again, that Jonathan Toews. I saw some crazy comments for Jonathan Toews. You know, you should have traded away Pavelski and what's his name, Brett Burns for like a young stud 4.5-star defenseman, and then you should have signed Jonathan Toews and traded him for a young stud 4.5-star forward and a draft pick. It was just like, I don't want to do that, man. That's way too much. Sign a player just to trade him. I mean, come on, what are we, the Buffalo Sabres? And I say that because, yes, I got word of the Ryan Miller trade last night. I think I'll do a shootout commentary today dedicated to the Ryan Miller trade. But they were saying for Buffalo anyways, they got Yaroslav Halak back and Chris Stewart. And I thought Chris Stewart might not be, you know what, we'll go another month. We're having a good season. I want to go far in this simulation. Chris Stewart, yeah. I was saying Chris Stewart, he fits into about the age with Cody Hodgson, right? I don't know about Tyler Ennis. They were saying that they scratched Tyler Ennis in the last game or the last 2 games or whatever, so he might be on his way out. But if you look at Cody Hodgson as a first-line center, if you're going to build around Cody Hodgson, Chris Stewart as a first-line right winger might not be a bad choice. But I was also reading on TSN that Halak and Stewart might be flipped for more draft picks by Buffalo. If they're doing that, man, Jesus. Buffalo's going to have a lot of prospects coming into their team over the next, 2-3 years. If guys like Tyler Ennis and Cody Hodgson are up for grabs as well, they're going for a complete rebuild. I mean, nobody's safe then. What do you trade Tyler Myers as well? This guy's 22 years old? Very interesting to see what the Buffalo Sabres do this year. I think this year's trade deadline, we've already probably seen the biggest trade, the Ryan Miller trade, and that's a gigantic trade. The St. Louis Blues now, my God. I think when we do the playoff pool this year with the superbmen, I think I might choose a bunch of St. Louis players. Last year I went with the Boston Bruins. Took me to second place, not bad. Domski's Pittsburgh Penguins and Chicago Blackhawks were enough to get them the win. But I don't know, man. St. Louis, they've been knocking on the door in the West the last few years. I think they beat San Jose. Oh, man, I forget which year they beat San Jose. They beat San Jose, and then they lost to a team in the second round. I think it was the LA Kings they lost to. And then last year, they were up 2-0 against LA in the first round, but then LA came back and won 4 straight. I believe that's the way it's went. So, if that's the case, the St. Louis Blues back-to-back years knocked out by the LA Kings, who have been a very tough playoff team. With Ryan Miller in the net and that amazing defensive core, 3 of their defensemen went to Sochi. So I don't know. The St. Louis Blues, I guess they had to give up a winger. They got a lot of wingers over there. TJ Oshie, Tarasenko, they got a lot of wingers. They got their centers as well. I don't know, man. St. Louis, are they the real deal this year? They could be. They might just be. All right, so enough of that. We're up here at the beginning of November. Oh, the end of November, beginning of December, yep. And we are 14-7-4. That's a very respectable record, especially for a team that, we were thinking wasn't going to have the greatest regular season record with the big trades, but our team is actually playing pretty good. The first line is actually tearing it up. So let's take a look at all the stats here. Goals, Voracek is in the lead. All right. Skinner's down there in 6th, and actually look at that. Brendan Gallagher, he's down there with 12 goals in 8th. All right, so maybe Gallagher's turning it around this year. Assists, are we up there? Logan is up there in 4th. All right, so we're getting the points. Logan is up there 6th in the NHL for points with 27. So we are up there. Oh, excuse me. Where's Niemi? Is Niemi up here at all for save percentage or goals against? No, he's not. Wins, Niemi's up there in 8th with 10. So goaltending is still an issue. We want that elite goalie in the future. Hopefully Ernest Chiarelli comes around for us. Atlantic Division looks like that. And the Pacific Division, we are in 1st with 32 points. 1st in the Western Conference, actually, okay? So things are going pretty well for us. We'll quickly just take a look at the player stats of the season. I think I might want to, I don't know where I want to go. I might want to go to the trade deadline in this video because we got to start the video off with a simulation. But only if we continue to win. I don't have to do any line changes. So Logan, he's a point-a-game player. So we have not stunted Logan Couture's growth at all, 27 points. Brendan Gallagher, 24 points in 25 games played. That's a great season already for Brendan. Joe Pavelski, he's having a great second-line center year. Point per game, pretty much. Jeff Skinner, that's a great year. Remember, he's a goal scorer, so I don't necessarily need Jeff Skinner to be point a game, but I want him to be at least a 30-goal scorer, okay? And he's looking like he will be with this. He might be even a 40-goal scorer with this kind of year. Brett Burns, 19 points. That's good enough for me. Jacob Silverberg, 18. That's great for him. 8 goals already. That is a good year. Palmieri, here comes the depth. All right, there you go. What about the depth players? Are they plus? Yeah, our 4th line, not really plus, but whatever. One line's got to allow the goals. I guess it's got to be the 4th line. Defense, points. Vlasic, our defensive defenseman with the most points, 13. Falk with 12. Fowler with 11. Shattenkirk with 11. So, a lot of four of our defensemen in double digits already. All right, so, all 4 of these guys could get up to, close to 40 points, man. 30, 35, 40 points. So that's a good season so far. And Niemi, 2.41 goals against average. That's not good. And a save percentage of 91.55. It's average. You know, I'd like to have a goalie with a save percentage of 92 at least, and a goals against average below 2.25. But at least we're scoring goals, and we're at the top of the league, so we're okay. I'll quickly just take a look at this progress report again. I'm trying to figure out what the damn progress reports do. I keep seeing comments saying it does this, it does that. I'm convinced nobody freaking knows. It stayed the same since the beginning of the year. I think it just shows like the jump that happens from off-season to preseason. Who knows? Whatever. Jesus. All right, so let's go ahead. Another month. Go all the way to up against the Calgary Flames. And now I can actually have some time to blow my nose, so hang on. There we go. That's much better. So look at that. We just beat the Anaheim Ducks 6-0. So take that, Big Joe. We just beat the LA Kings 1-0. So Niemi's turning it on now. Scout assignment. I completely forget. We were doing the OHL, I believe, for a sniper in the last one. Yeah. Mangiapane. Okay, so we'll go somewhere else now. WHL. Yeah, Ronning. I recognize that name. He might be 4-star. Maybe. All right, so we'll go all the way up here. Where are we going? There you go. All right, so I guess we could talk a little bit more about the trade deadline. I will be getting a shootout commentary up today about the Ryan Miller trade, but we can talk about some of the trades that could happen. Ryan Kessler being a big name, and I'll put that one to you guys. You know, where do you think Ryan Kessler could go? I've heard the New York Rangers for Derek Stepan. I don't know if that's a good move for the Rangers. I know they got to free up cap space after signing Dan Girardi. But man, Stepan for Kessler. I got nothing wrong with Kessler. I think he's a good player, but that looming injury question, you know, and a guy like Derek Stepan, he's young. He had a great shortened year last year, unless he doesn't want to play in New York. You know, that could be the problem. But to me, New York, they got to somehow get rid of Brad Richards. I know actually, Praise said that he's not been doing bad recently, but for that contract, you got Lundqvist making how much? You got Rick the Dick making how much? Now you signed Dan Girardi, you know, you gave McDonough some money, Callahan. It's just like you got all these big-time contracts. And is Brad Richards really worth it at $6 million for the next how many years? You know, I don't know if there'd be any team that would want that Brad Richards contract, but I'd rather keep a Ryan Callahan than a Brad Richards if you could somehow work it out. I don't know if they can. It's all up to Senile Sather. But Kessler to the New York Rangers, that could be interesting. Who else have we heard? Who else? Callahan, obviously, yeah. I don't think it's going to be Kessler for Callahan, though. I'd be interested to see where Callahan would go. I don't think he would fit in on the Toronto Maple Leafs because we already have like the wingers that we need. But I don't know. Where do you think that Ryan Callahan could go for a... He'd definitely a playoff team. Go and block some shots for a team, but it's that contract. You know, which team would want to give Ryan Callahan the 7-year deal that you know he's going to get in free agency? All right, so we're all the way up here, 23, 10, and 5. I mean, we're romping it, boys. We are romping it. Let's see, first in the West. Well, tied for first in the West with Phoenix. Okay, and 1 point behind the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Philadelphia Flyers in the East, so not too bad. Where are we? We're December. Yeah, I'd like to go up to the trade deadline in this video, but I just want to make sure I don't lose anything, so hang on. All right, that's much better. So we have we're up here at the beginning of January. We got the Jonathan Toews' Calgary Flames, 13. So he hasn't turned them into a playoff team or anything. Let's see how many points he's got. He's probably leading in points and assists. Yeah, 22 and 22. Yeah, he's definitely a point-a-game player. He's definitely worth it. He's earning that money. All right, but still, wouldn't have fit in on our team. And you know what? We're playing pretty good without Jonathan Toews, so it's okay. All right, so we'll go all the way to the All-Star break. Yeah, all the way up here. Oh, yeah. I forgot. There's another trade that I was forgot about there. Martin St. Louis. What the hell? I did not see this one coming at all. I'm not a Tampa Bay fan. I don't get to hear about all the rumors and stuff that's going down there in Tampa Bay. But to me, when I think of it, like, why would St. Louis want out of Tampa Bay? I mean, he's won a cup there. He's been there for how long? Tampa Bay Lightning are a good team this year. You know, they're set up for a playoff run. Steven Stamkos coming back. Why would Martin St. Louis want out? And I've heard some people say it's because of the Team Canada snubbing the first time from Steve Yzerman as their GM. And I don't know, for some reason, again, I don't know anything about the situation, so this is pretty much useless to say, but to me, it just doesn't, like, is that serious? Like, are you serious? That's the reason? Good God, man, I don't want to say it doesn't feel like a legitimate reason, but there's got to be something else there. I mean, Jesus, Martin St. Louis. It was Steven Stamkos. You still ended up going, and now you want to trade off the team just because you weren't picked by the GM? Are you serious? I don't know. It doesn't. There has to be something else about that. Maybe if you guys know, let me know. But Martin St. Louis traded, and they were saying to the New York Rangers. I mean, the Rangers apparently they want to get Kessler and Martin St. Louis, add them to the team. That would be a nice 1-2 punch. But geez, man, if he gets traded, what the hell is Steven Stamkos going to do now? I wonder if Steven Stamkos can still put up all the points that he does without Martin St. Louis on the team. I'm sure he can still get it up there, but. I mean, Martin St. Louis has proved to be still a top-notch player in the NHL, even without Steven Stamkos over the last few years. So Steven Stamkos has had that kind of, great player to play alongside of since he's come into the NHL. I just wonder if that's going to be a setback for him now. Obviously you got Jonathan Drouin coming in the future, but when Jonathan Drouin comes in, the roles are going to have to be reversed. Stamkos is going to have to be like the veteran, better player and make Drouin better, rather than St. Louis making Stamkos better. I still think he can log 40 goals, but will he get the 60 goals again without without St. Louis? I'm not going to say he won't, because when you say that, he'll just prove you wrong. But I don't know. That's a question. It's a question. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, so yeah, we're at the end of January here. I guess I could start paying attention to this simulation engine a little bit now. We're on automatic though, man. 31, 13, and 5. Whatever trades I made, whatever setup that we have for this team, it seems to be working just fine. We got the depth. I mean, we might even have a better year than we had last year. What the hell is going on, man? I have no clue. Maybe the young guys, Jeff Skinner and Logan, they just decided to take this team over. Jeff Skinner's already got the 24-goal season. What did I say? I just want a 30-goal year out of Jeff Skinner. Looks like he might put on a close to 40-goal year. Or maybe he'll just go silent now for the end of the year just to spite me. Who knows? But I think our second line is tearing it up this year. We can't see any of their stats, but the last time we checked, Pavelski and, was it Silfverberg? No, Pavelski and Gallagher were point-a-game players. Silfverberg was right there. I think that could be a very special second line. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. And I think our defensive core as well, with Irwin on the third line now, that could also be helping us out tremendously. That's one difference of our defensive core than last year, right? Take out Dan Boyle, add in Irwin, and also Martinez for Braun, because Braun dropped down to a 79. You can make the argument that, yeah, I mean, Fowler is the better offensive defenseman than Boyle, and now that Martinez has replaced Braun and Irwin has replaced, Falk has replaced, there's somebody else that I'm missing in there. Yeah, because we got 3 new defenders this year. Yeah, Braun's sitting out, Boyle retired. Who is the... Demers. Yeah, we traded Demers. Right. Okay. So many players. Can't remember them all. Holy shit, 3 games in a row. Anaheim, Minnesota, LA, all on the road. That's not nice. That's a rough schedule right there. Let's see what we can do. Anaheim with Joe Thornton. He's got 36 assists. We beat them again. Hopefully we don't have to face Anaheim in the playoffs. That would really suck. It's going to come back to bite me in the ass. Watch. All right, there you go. Out of that rough 3-game stretch, we took 2 out of 3 games. Look at all the goals we scored. Even that game that we lost in the Minnesota Wild, we scored 3 goals. We're a goal-scoring machine of a team. I guess we need to with Niemi being 85 overall. Scouting assignments. All right, I'll go to the QMJHL now for 6 weeks. Very nice. All right, so we are up here at the trade deadline. So, our record, is it going to be 40? 40 wins before the deadline? That's, look at Tampa Bay, 41. Yeah, we lost to Tampa Bay. They're probably the best team in the NHL right now with Jonathan Drouin and Stamkos. All right, but I don't think we should worry about a damn thing. Look at that record, 39, 19, and 5. That's a great record. First in the West, 83 points, and tied for second in the NHL, okay? We would have been up there with Tampa Bay. We would have been, we would have been ahead of Tampa Bay if we won that game. But our goal this year was not to win the President's Trophy, right? Our goal this year was to just try to make it back into the playoffs and reload Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, Dan Boyle, reload the team into a competitive team without going through a full-on rebuild. And I think we've done that. I mean, we've reloaded this team completely. Look at this record now. All right, I'll go to GM Tracker. Let me just see something. How many points did we have last year? We had 97 points last year. Okay. And yeah, I mean we could definitely catch it. We could definitely catch it. We got to get a lot of losses to catch up to last year's. So I'd say we might even I don't think we'll catch this one because we can only lose 2 more games to catch this one. That was a great season. But still, we're a good team this year. We're definitely a good team. So let's take a look at the stats, the team standing stats, the player stats, all that good stuff. So points, we are second in the NHL. All right. Goals for per game, second in the NHL behind the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, yeah, Stamkos and Drouin, they're a goal-scoring dynamo machine as well. Goals against per game, 2.52. So, yeah, it's Niemi. If we had that elite goalie, it would help us out a lot more. Husso on Florida is probably tearing it up, and I know what the comments are right now. Check out Husso. I'll check out Husso right after this, all right? I actually want to see it as well. 2.18, Jesus. Power play percentage, yep, 16.9. So, we're second in the league for goals for, but, you know, that's 5-on-5 goals for. It must be, so that's actually really good news. Hang on, times power play. Oh, actually, never mind. We're taking a lot of power plays. We're drawing a lot of penalties. That's good news. Penalty kill, 11th. That's good enough for me. We're right there. We're right there with them. You know, 84%. The top guy is 86. We're right there. We just need to go on a good stretch, and that number will go up there. All right, and blah blah blah. So, let's take a look at the individual stats after we take a look at Ville Husso and see why he's got the goals against for the Florida Panthers so low this year. Or you know what? Maybe it's a Markstrom in the net. Who knows? Goalies, yeah, they're playing Markstrom. Markstrom at 85 overall. Husso is still 61. All right, so Husso is not there yet. It is Markstrom. All right, so Markstrom is doing something good there. Player stats, yes. Player stats. Stats Central. Player stats for the season. There you go. Let's see if that second line is still where they were the first time we checked them. The second line was doing great last time. Let's see if they're up there still. All right, so the first line, Logan, he's basically a point-a-game player, racking up those assists. I like that. He's turning into his own Joe Thornton. Yeah, he's only good for like a 20, just over a 20-goal season. So he's about on pace for that same kind of year, 22, 23, 24 goals. But he's mostly an assist guy, which is why we got Jeff Skinner beside him. But Joe Pavelski, he's having a great year as well. He's already tied. Yeah, I mean, he's having a great year. 29 goals as a second-line center. Hell yeah. Jeff Skinner, all right, 54. He's going to have that 30-goal season, which is what I wanted from him. And he's actually almost a point a game, so I'm fine with that. Gallagher, 50 points, 20-goal season. What did he have last year? 24 goals. So, yeah, he's up there. He's getting assists this year. Pavelski's getting the goals. Silverberg, 42 points. Could be a little bit better, but hopefully he gets up to 50 points. All right, that's all I wanted out of the second liners, 50-point years. So if Silverberg can get up there, then Pavelski, Gallagher, and Silverberg were a great second line. Brett Burns, he's a first liner, but you know what? I'm fine with those stats. Again, I have Brett Burns for the defensive category. Look at those. 5-star skating, 5-star physical, 4.5-star defensive category. He is allowing Logan and Skinner to get all the points and also be a plus. He's a +9, all right? So I know people are always going to say, I've seen this in all my series, when somebody on the first or second line doesn't have the points, it's automatically they're underproducing. But just think a defensive player, and when we're second in the NHL, the defensive players are doing what they need to be doing, okay? So Brett Burns is worth his weight in gold on this team. Absolutely. He's just as valuable as any one of these other players. Well, except for Couture and Skinner. But he's just as valuable. We need him on the team, so he's not going anywhere. You heard it here first. Forwards, Sabatka, 17 points. Palmieri, 17, 16, blah, blah, blah. Are they plus players, our third liners? Not really. That's okay, though. Okay, and then defense. Let's see these points. Oh, yeah. Justin Falk. What a pickup this guy was. 36 points. Cam Fowler, 34. Vlasic, 32. And Shattenkirk, only 24. Maybe Justin Falk turns into the first-line defenseman if he gets a good boost this year. Who knows? And then goaltenders. Niemi, 2.40. And a save percentage. It's been getting better, but it's our goals for that's keeping us up there in the season. For sure it is. All right, so there you go. There are the stats. GM options, progress reports. Let me just show you guys. Yeah, it's still the same. So we're going to leave it right here at the trade deadline. If I had to make the decision, I would not touch this team whatsoever. it's producing. You know, we are producing. We're winning games with this team. Whatever lineup I've put together, we're winning games with this team. So let me know what you guys think about it, but I think we should leave it just the way it is. Hellenis is in the net. That's automated goalie rotations. He's got to start the next game, I guess. All right, but I'll just quickly go through some of the teams and show you guys some players that are available if you guys want to let me know. All right, so I got Harding that I could trade away for trade value, but, 3.5 star, why not hold on to him? Lemieux I could trade away, Bowman I could trade away, Nylander I could trade away, McCarron, all right, Seibeneiler, all right, so there are the trading assets. Comrie I could trade away, there's another trading asset. There are the trading assets I could trade away, all right, and then they want to trade Joe Thornton. Oh, my God, Anaheim. We'll just go through some of the teams here just to show you guys which players are available. And if you guys see anybody that maybe we could make a trade for with any of the trading assets that we had, I wouldn't mind trading prospects for prospects. It's not a big deal, like trading away Harding because he's just for example, he's a center 2-way forward. If say we wanted a right wing sniper prospect, I wouldn't mind trading 1-for-1 Harding for a right wing prospect. I'd do that, no problem. But I just mean trades that are effective. Ooh, look at that, Cronwall. Bolster the defense maybe a little bit, but that's a lot of trade value right there. All right, there you go. Eric Stahl. A lot of players up on the trading block this year. Jesus. All right. So there you go. There's definitely some veterans out there, but do we want to trade away our future just to go for the Stanley Cup this year, or do we want to just continue with this good run, let all of our younger players play, and see what they do? Because, again, if we trade away or if we try to pick up a guy like Cronwall or try to pick up a guy like Thornton, then who on our team right now gets moved down and then doesn't get the boost in the offseason, right? We're building a team here, and the team is looking pretty good. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next video.